Now let's try to add some upper body length moves to the rebalance sequence. Again, I want you to lie on your back with your palms faced up and your arms and legs extended. Let's use the rest assess to evaluate how much stuck stress you have living in your body before we do this sequence. I want you to use your body sense and scan your masses and spaces. Remember, there's 4 common imbalances that many of us have that we want to go to eliminate using this sequence. So I want you to use your body sense and notice your upper body. Remember, a common imbalance is to feel like all of your upper body weight is only across the shoulder girdle, instead of the rib wall feeling weighted to the ground. Remember, when our upper body is free from accumulated stress, the head, the ribs, the shoulder girdle, and the arms will all collectively weight to the floor evenly. So notice if one arm feels like it's more weighted to the floor, or if that upper back feels a little lifted off the ground. Use your body sense and scan the mid-torso. Remember, you can always use your belly button as that landmark to notice if you've got a lot of accumulated stress living in the diaphragm. So remember, if you have a big arch that starts at your pelvis and goes all the way to the bottom of your shoulder blades, I want you to notice that because that's one of the common imbalances we're going to eliminate with this sequence. Use your body sense and notice your lower body. Remember, 2 areas that stuck stress loves to live are the pelvis and the thighs. If the pelvis is loaded with stuck stress, instead of being weighted on 2 butt cheeks, you're going to feel like your tailbone is weighted to the ground. In your legs, you might notice that instead of the masses of your thighs being weighted to the floor, one or both thighs will feel a little light or even entirely off the ground. Remember, if you feel like all of your upper back weight's across the shoulder girdle, if your mid-back is arched off the floor, if your tailbone is very weighted to the ground, or the back of the thighs feel off the floor, we've identified some stuck stress living in your body that could be compressing your neck and low back. I also want you to spend a moment assessing your autopilot. Remember, you are equipped with aspects of your nervous system that are always trying to identify where your center of gravity is. So divide yourself into a left and a right half and notice if your autopilot has good connection to your center of gravity. If you feel like both sides are balanced, that's a good sign your autopilot's functioning efficiently. But if you're noticing that one entire side of your body is more weighted to the floor or one leg feels longer, that's autopilot inefficiency, and that's what we're going to go to try to rebalance with this next sequence. So take your time and let's lie the length of the roller again. So I want you to bring your hips up onto the top of the roller and slowly roll yourself back, either by leaning into it or sitting at the end like I just did. Now remember, always touch the top of your head to make sure that you're on the roller 100%, head, ribs, and pelvis. So let's start the sequence with gentle rocking. Remember, you'll just allow your masses to tip from left to right to allow your autopilot time to adapt to the compression you're creating on your spine and to challenge your autopilot to go into action to balance and support you on the unstable surface of the roller. When you're doing this on your own, you'll always spend 30 to 60 seconds gently rocking to allow your autopilot time to adapt to the position. Then come back to a center point and let's try our pelvic tuck and tilt. Let's place our hands on the front of our pelvis and begin to differentiate a movement of the pelvis from the tuck to the tilt. Remember, you're not pushing into your feet, lifting your hips, or moving your ribs to acquire that subtle motion. This is how you reconnect your autopilot to your center of gravity by differentiating that subtle motion of your pelvis. Let's try one more time, tucking the pelvis under, tilting the pelvis away, and then coming to the middle and holding our neutral pelvis. Let's go with our 3D breath breakdown. Place one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, and take a few focused breaths into the front and back of your body, allowing your diaphragm to expand lengthwise and depthwise in equal timing. So you're allowing the breath to go from a midline up to the ceiling and down to the roller. Now let's place our hands onto the sides of the ribs and take a few focused breaths into the sides of the body, allowing width to move in through the torso. Try one more breath in that direction, and remember, it's not the fullest breath, it's just your thinking about it that's going to help your autopilot reconnect to your center of gravity. Next, place one hand on your collarbone and one hand down onto your pelvis. And now, take a breath that allows the diaphragm to move due south so that your lungs can move due north, breathing length through the torso. Notice if your autopilot is going into balance. Remember, if you're feeling your body subtly shift, your autopilot's doing a great job in reacquiring its connection to your center of gravity as you influence the movement of the diaphragm. Now let's try our 3D breath. You already know which sound you connect to your core the best with, so let's place our hands on our belly, take a full 6-sided breath, and 2 times try your forced exhalation with the sound of your choice. Now try a few focused breaths without the forced exhalation. Just allow your natural breath to come into your body, and then as you exhale, feel and follow the contraction. I want you to keep that awareness to that subtle core contact, and let's add some upper body length move. Let's start with the shoulder blade reach. Bring your arms straight up into the air. Keep your shoulders away from your ears, and begin to slowly allow the shoulder blades to reach up to the ceiling and down toward the roller. I want you to do this 5 to 10 times, and just notice if your shoulder blades move evenly or if you're feeling one shoulder blade hit the edge of the roller whereas the other one moves smoothly. Also notice if you feel any clicking, cracking, or popping. The shoulder blade reach is not only a length move, it's a great way to notice if your shoulder girdle feels a little compressed. So now, allow the shoulder girdle to remain heavy and just take a focused breath. Now let's try the double arm reach. Place your hands together and bring your arms down so that your arms rest onto the bottom of your rib cage. This is where we're going to begin the double arm reach. Take a focused breath and slowly bring your arms up from that point. Make sure that you keep your arms lower than the level of your shoulders. Then slowly take your arms out along the side of the body, like as if you're trying to hug a big beach ball. So look how my arms stay above the level of my torso, like I'm reaching around a globe. Once you have your arms in this position, I want you to take a nice focused breath, and let's try to floss the nerves in your arms by doing a subtle flexion and extension of the wrist. Notice how my wrists move in opposition, like I'm throwing and catching a ball from hand to hand. Now you can do this with your palms faced up and palms open, or make fists and do the exact same movement. Take a focused breath. If you want, turn your palms upside down, and let's try to do that same flexion and extension with the wrists in opposition. Again, take focused breaths and keep your shoulders relaxed as you lengthen through the arms. You can also try this position with fists. Now open your palms back up and take one more focused breath. Let's bring your arms back up to that shoulder blade reach position. If you want, try a few shoulder blade moves. You may realize that your shoulder girdle is already moving better than when you tried this movement before. So get a good sense if your shoulder blades are moving more efficiently and if we've restored some hydration to the shoulder girdle. Take a focused breath. Now let's try the neck turn. Turn your palms face down and place your arms along the side of the roller. Keep your palms flat and really try to reach your fingertips away from your collarbones. Keep your shoulders relaxed, take a focused breath, and on an exhale, slowly turn your head to one side. Now what I want you to focus on once you subtly turn your head is to reach the opposite arm away from that tensional pull. What I want you to feel is a tensional pull that goes from your cheekbone and your jaw all the way over your shoulder and down to your fingertips. Remember, we're not trying to stretch muscles in this position. We're trying to lengthen connective tissue throughout the entire arm. Take one more focused breath in this position, and let's come back through the center. Take another focused breath and slowly turn your head to the other side. And again, increase the tension on the arm you're turning away from. So remember, collarbones are wide, shoulder blades are relaxed, but you're actively reaching your arm and turning your head. That's what two-directional length is all about. Again, you're trying to feel tensional pull all the way down the arms. Take a nice focused breath and come back to the center. Let's try the same thing again. Take a focused breath and slowly turn your head as you reach your fingertips away from your jaw and ear. Take another breath and come back to the center. Let's try it on the other side. Same thing. Take a focused breath and turn your head the other way. Again, make sure that you're reaching your arm as you turn your head so that you get that long tensional pull from your ear all the way to your fingertips. Take another breath and return your head back to center. You can also try the neck turn with your palms faced up and slowly turn your head. You might find that keeping your palms faced up increases tension in an entirely other region of your arms. Notice that because you may have accumulated stress on the front or back arm lines. Come back through the center and let's try it over to the other side. Same thing, taking a nice focused breath down the entire arm. Come back through the center. You can also try this neck turn on your own with your palms a little wider, either with your palms face down or with your palms faced up. Come back to the center point and take a nice focused breath. Let's bring your arms back up to that shoulder blade position one more time and try again the shoulder blade reach. You might find that now your shoulder blades are really gliding evenly and smoothly along the side of the roller. Allow your shoulder girdle to rest. Take a nice focused breath. Bring your arms along the side of the roller. Take one more breath in and let's reassess. Straighten out one leg. Slowly slide off the roller. Move the roller out from underneath your body and let's reassess. Palms faced up, arms and legs extended. Now, if we've done a great job with the upper body length moves, adding it to the rebalance, not only will your upper back feel more weighted to the ground, but you might also notice that more of your back weight is in the mid-torso and your shoulders actually feel more light and lifted. You might feel like your low back curve is more in that ideal placement below the belly button. Your butt cheeks may be entirely more weighted to the ground. And listen, if you're noticing that the back of your thighs are more weighted to the floor, you can now recognize how indirect approach can actually affect your low back and your lower body from creating hydration in the upper body. And remember, divide yourself into a left and a right half. Notice if now you feel more balanced from left to right. If you feel more balanced, we've done a great job adding some upper body length moves to the rebalance sequence.